Hi YouTube. Okay, so today is Thursday, and this camera looks weird because I'm on my phone. But this is my last day of the week for school. This was my last class, and I only had, unlike the other Monday and Wednesday, I only had one class today, and it was contracts. So for contracts, this was my first class ever because we didn't meet her during orientation. We didn't even see her. So she emailed us like maybe 2 days ago and gave us 3 cases to read and brief. Now it wasn't that bad. The cases were like maybe 1 or 2 pages. One of them was, I want to say like 3 pages, but it wasn't that bad. So anyway, this weekend I plan on Friday. I know that I'm not as tired as yesterday. I'm going to go to bed though because I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning to work out and to take my sister to the airport, and I'm exhausted. So I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep and not do any homework tonight, even though I need to like brush up on what the heck just happened in contracts, because I was a little bit lost. And a few of us was in class kind of like, I'm glad it wasn't just me, because we are like sitting there listening intently and then not really taking notes. And this teacher, along with my legal research and writing teacher, does not let you record because she just thinks that you need to learn how to take good notes. So, dilemma. Okay, so Friday I have decided that I am going to do some homework when I get off work. And then probably, I get off work at 5, so probably about till 9:30, just because that's when my boyfriend gets off work, and then I'm going to enjoy the rest of that night and not worry about homework. Because on Saturday, as soon as I get up, depending on if I get up early enough. If I get up early enough, I might actually do some cleaning and try to cook, but I wouldn't count on it. So I'm probably going to tell my boyfriend that he has to cook. But I am going to be doing all 3 of my classes. So basically, all on Saturday, my whole day is gone. Because all 3 of my classes, I'm going to review over my notes, rewrite notes that I need to write, clarify what what we talked about in class, make sure that I understand and I'm following along, getting the concepts well and the new definitions that were explained to us and introduced to us. So I'm going to do that with all 3 classes. Then I'm going to take all 3 classes and the homework for next week, and I'm going to try to do that too. Just kind of do my preview, the first part that I'm responsible for knowing when I get in there. Which brings me to today. I went to a session, another seminar with free food on, not for the free food, seriously, on note taking. So here are my notes that I took for myself and to be able to regurgitate back to you. So she basically said the P5Rs, which are preview, so look for clues so that you understand the context and get case clues and skim over the case. So the preview is what I mentioned that I'm going to do for all of my cases. I'm going to preview. I'm going to do, of course, the assignments that are due, but then I'm also going to preview the cases and try to case brief and get my own knowledge before I get into class. And then when I get into class, I'm going to rewrite over those notes and whatever she says is right, or he says, and erase what I have and just kind of perfect those notes. Then I would go back that night or whenever the next time I have time and redo the whole notes to make sure I understand all of it, like put my ideas and the teacher's ideas together. So, okay, so that was the P. The 5 R's is read. So to read, you need to look for the main, I have notes, so I'm looking down. You need to look for the main idea, like the who, what, where, why, what's the rule of law. And something I've noticed is each class likes their case briefs done a certain way. So like for one class, she'll say, what's the procedural history? So what happened in the court before? What procedure did they go through? And then another class, she'll say, what's the procedural, what was that? Procedural, I don't know, it was a P word. Portion, priority, I don't know. But I was like, I really hope that's procedural history because that's where I'm putting it at. Because I already have my subheadings in my notes sometimes. So I'm one of those people where I freak out. Like if I'm doing an outline in class, it kind of doesn't help me to do an outline in class and take notes because I focus less on the notes and more on the, are my A's in a row? Are my I's in a row? Is this spaced correctly? Did the outline move exactly how I want it to move? I don't do so well with that because I'm really, really meticulous about my organization, and it literally clouds my focus on what I should be focusing on. So, also with read, identify the second time you read. And this is what I was talking about yesterday when they, you have to read 3 times sometimes over 27 pages or, just one thing that they tell you to read. Look for clues and main ideas. Then the second time, read and identify the facts, issues, and holding of the case. And then maybe if you have to read a third time, go over it again. And she said, the person that was giving this note-taking workshop or seminar or whatever, she said, after an hour of the same case, know when to give it up. Quit. You cannot keep reading the same thing because you're going to keep making the same mistakes. Or you just get tired, and sleepy, I don't know. And just, it kind of gets mundane. So what you do after that is you're clearly not getting it, so write it down because you're spending too much time on it anyway. When of course you have other homework, so write it down. What it is that you're not getting, and ask questions the next class, or come in their office hours, or meet with their TAs because they did mention that they have TAs that are very helpful, and some of them had their class before, so they know what they're looking for. Okay, so the other R is reflect. So reflect on why certain facts triggered a particular holding. What different facts would trigger a different holding. So reflect on like what happened in the case. Make sure you understand the case, the facts, the rule of law in its entirety. Record. So go beyond what you have prepared for notes. Experiment for what works for you and how you like to take notes, which is sort of what I'm doing, what you probably will be doing your first week. So if you get a little freaked out about this is totally not working, that's okay. The first week they kind of give you a, we know you don't know anything. So starting period. She said to think of class as a review and see professors as supplements to expand and clarify your notes. So really that's what you should be doing. Trying to teach yourself before you get there, then get to class and use the teacher and what they say as to clarify different areas in your notes and expand on certain things that you didn't expand on. And then she also interrupted that with a few things that you should avoid. One, taking all of what your professor, like sitting in class and just literally typing everything your professor said, because that's notes that you're going to have to go back and read and decipher through what's important to keep and what's important to take away, and it's just too much. Don't just listen and not take notes. That's the opposite of the first one. Don't just sit there like I was intensely. Even though I was like intensely looking and trying to focus on what she was saying, I still needed to be taking some notes because I probably missed some stuff. Don't be too messy with your notes and all over the place because it's going to be hard for you to outline once it's time to take the test. And know who you are. So like if you are an auditory person, pay attention and listen. Read out loud when you do your notes. If you are a hands-on person, you can't sit still, kind of like me, because I don't think I can. Moot court is going to be your best friend because you'll actually get practical experience. Sitting in class is going to be a pain in the butt because you'll have to just sit there and listen to lectures. However, most of the classes that you have are, everybody's going back and forth and giving their idea of what they think the case is about, blah, blah, blah. So you're talking and you're discussing. So it gets a little interesting there. I like it. While reading, take breaks or run or walk while you're reading, or you see people reading and doing the whole treadmill thing. I can't because I lose my spot a lot, but hey, if that works for you. Create flashcards. Sit closer in class if you know you're one of those people that zone out easily. Also, reader, writers, that type of person will do best because that's all you do in law school is read and write. So the last few things there is review, organize things, and clear up conclusions. And spend 5 minutes thinking about what you learned when you left class. Unlike me, I spend 5 minutes thinking about what I'm going to say on the YouTube. Not really. Okay, reduce, synthesize your outline and the notes that you wrote because you don't want a big gob of crap. The last thing I'll say is it's not a good idea to highlight in your book and write notes in your book because that's just messy. That's part of your messy notes, and it's hard because you're going to have to go back and put that in an outline or in your notes in your computer. It's just hard to gather up. It has no timeline. It's just don't do it. It's a bad idea. So that's it for today. I don't think I'll be making any other videos for the weekend. I'll just be studying. And I have a group that I'm going to be studying with on Sunday, so I'm excited about that. So until later, see how my next week goes. Thanks for watching.